and lovely to have your company. Thanks for joining us here on Ideal World. My name is Mike Mason, and who loves coffee? There's something rather magical about the drink, isn't there? And if you are a person who drinks instant coffee, you are drinking something that tastes like coffee, but honestly, isn't real coffee. That's real coffee. And if you want to taste the magic of coffee, you have to unleash the magic inside that bean, of which the machine we're about to offer you does. But the reason why a lot of people don't have coffee machines in their home is because they cost a fortune. This was £1,000, £1,000, and honestly, worth every single pound and penny of it. This will deliver 12 different coffees. It's just incredible. But tonight, we are going to do a price that is just unprecedented. It's unheard of, and it's going to sell them out quick. For the Krups Evidence 1, now there are different Evidence machines in the range, but this is the Evidence 1, the one everybody wants. It's under £600. And honestly, in the world of Krups and their coffee machines, that is absurd value for money. But more so than that, we only want £150 tonight plus your postage, and we will get this machine delivered to your door in 3 and 5 working days. We will then give you a 14-day money-back guarantee. And if you don't feel that you are experiencing the perfect coffee, those flavours that are more compounds chemically than wine, then you really are right to return this back to us, and we'll give you back every pound and penny of that £150. But if you are the kind of person you go into a coffee shop and you pay for your coffee and they put it into a plastic or a paper cup, you're missing some of the best things about coffee, because it's not just the flavour of the coffee, the intensity, the aroma, that complexion of chemical compounds, that is just smooth, silky chocolate to woody to smoky notes. It's also the theatre. When it comes to coffee, it's not just what you taste, it's what you smell. It's the creation of the coffee that really is part of the journey. So from bean to cup, this machine will crush the bean, grind the bean, remove and deliver all of those flavours from the bean and create the perfect drink for you. But it does it in the most professional, like a barista kind of way. You can have milky coffee drinks, you can have espresso coffee drinks, you can pretty much have any one of the 12, whether it's ristretto, doppio, espresso, long cafe, americano, cappuccino, latte macchiato, to name but a few. But when the coffee from this machine is delivered into the frothed milk, then you're going to understand exactly what that theatre is all about. Because all good things comes to those that wait, one person once said. And what you're about to see is something that's always worth waiting for. Because now that coffee is being delivered to the perfect temperature of milk, with the perfect compound of pressure and the perfect temperature for the coffee. Nothing's burnt, nothing's scalded. This is not instant. This is perfectly created real coffee. That is like your Sunday roast. All the best bits, the flavour, the intensity, the journey from beginning, middle to end. Look at the way those sedimentary layers are now delivered. That's why when you put that to your mouth, you get the cream at the top, you get the intensity in the middle, and you get the flavour and the softness and smoothness at the end. That's how you get coffee delivered perfectly. And that is made from the bean that is as fresh a coffee as ever you are likely to taste. Gang, I can tell you right now, we only have a small amount of these and we're already busy. A Krups Evidence 1 for £150 tonight plus your postage, your first instalment of 4, unheard of. Taste it, savour it, love it, and experience what coffee really is all about.
Bask in the delicious aroma of freshly brewed coffee with the Krups Evidence 1 bean to cup coffee machine. Discover 12 delightful recipes from full-bodied espressos to velvety lattes, served in the comfort of your own home. The intuitive touch display with handy shortcuts keeps your caffeine fix at your fingertips and allows you to customize the grind, strength and length for your own personalized blend. Sharing the experience by preparing 2 cups at once. For a difference you can taste, look no further than Krups Evidence 1 bean to cup coffee machine.
And now it's a pleasure to introduce you to the gentleman who's going to not just educate you, but he's going to tantalise and tease your coffee taste bud delights. Please welcome the brilliant Mr. Sean Crawley.
So excited to bring you this machine, Mike. I was lucky enough to work with Krups for many years at exhibitions and shows like the Good Food Show, the Ideal Home Show. We never had a machine like this, and we never had a machine that could make 2 milk drinks at the same time. So 5 of your favourites that are on the LED screen that you can see here. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 favourites, you can do 2 drinks at the same time. So an espresso, long coffee, cappuccino, your latte macchiato and your cafe latte. All of them you can make 2 at the same time. So let's get to work straight away. First of all, everything is really self-explanatory. It illuminates beautifully in the dark. It's colour illumination on the OLED screen that you've got there. We're going to do the 2 drinks, so just press the ×2 button, and then we're going to do latte macchiato. Now what you're going to see here straight away is the preheat. It always preheats first, so it's going to be ready to heat the milk and froth the milk at the same time. Now, this machine doesn't come with a milk jug. You can use any receptacle at all, put it in a glass if you've got a stylish milk bottle, something like that. Just make sure you've got a glass that's big enough to carry the milk if you're doing 2 milk drinks. Now, what you're going to see here is once it's preheated, it's going to go through and start to make your coffees. I've also selected the strongest selection. You can have 1, 2 or 3 beans. It's completely up to you. You can change the strength of the coffee, the length of the coffee, the grind of the bean. It's completely personalised coffee. I love the fact that the milk distributor you can move higher or lower, so depending on the size of the glass and the type of coffee that you're doing, you can move that to wherever you want. But what you're getting here is that frothing and heating at the same time. It's barista style coffee in a machine that doesn't take up a huge space. So you'll see that the milk is going down on the other side there. And as I say, just always make sure that you've got enough milk in there if you are doing the 2 drinks. The fact that you can do this is brilliant. The fact we've got it at this kind of price is amazing. But if you want to alter during the coffee making process, maybe you don't want to use as much milk, you know it's going to run out, you can just take that down, and then what happens? Well, what you can hear now is the fresh grind of the bean. As it does every espresso, it'll fresh grind. Your beans in the top there, you've got 1 to 5 on the grind of the bean, the fineness through to the coarseness, and it will advise you on coffee beans whether you should do it in a fine grind or a coarser grind. It's completely up to you how you do it, but it'll always advise you on the actual coffee. And then your first espresso is going to start to come through into the coffee. This is what I love, the art of coffee making, all done for you, and you'll have the taste, Mike, that you won't believe from this machine. It'll do 1 espresso first, then it'll grind again, and then it'll put the next espresso into the coffees.
What we haven't done is actually established your credentials here, my friend, because we've known each other for a few years, and I class you as a good mate. But also, you are our aficionado, if you will. You love your coffee, Sean.
I do. You know, Mike, you're in the Mike's in the dressing room opposite. I've got a nice coffee machine in my dressing room. It's the door where they're always knocking on. If they want a decent coffee, they come to my door. I haven't got a machine as good as this, I've got to be honest. And to have a machine that does this style of coffee, whether it's black, whether it's white, you'll absolutely love not only the taste, but the quality that you get every time.
I think what we also have to appreciate, Sean, is a lot of people will buy an instant coffee. And an instant coffee is, if you will, a very poor comparison as to what coffee tastes like. And some, it might be smooth, it might be rich, it might be this, it might be that. But you're effectively taking boiling hot water and pouring it onto an instant granule to get a flavour of coffee. That's not coffee, is it?
It's really not. And that's the other great thing about this machine. You can set the temperature as well, Mike. You've got 3 different levels of temperature set. I mean, look at that. That is art in a cup. It's not just 1 cup, it's 2 cups at the same time, as I say. It's going to do the same kind of quality of coffee if you like an espresso as well. So maybe you like an espresso first thing in the morning, after dinner you like a nice latte or a cappuccino, a latte macchiato. They're all available for you. This machine's even designed, Mike, to do the perfect temperature water for tea. So if you're a green tea drinker, maybe you're a fruit tea drinker or a regular black tea drinker, again, it's got different temperatures that are perfect for each type of tea.
So let's now consider, Sean, if we may, just very, very quickly for everybody sitting at home right now, first and foremost, the opportunity that presents itself to you. All you need is some beans. And if you get really great beans, you are going to be tasting incredible coffee. And if you've never experienced what real coffee tastes like, get this in your life for a couple of weeks. £150 tonight plus your postage, and we deliver it directly to your door. When it arrives, it's really easy to set up. You'll be using it in moments. And then understand the aroma that's going to create and just fill your kitchen with that beautiful fresh ground coffee scent that is just euphoric. It's gorgeous. You walk downstairs in the morning, you're like, oh my God, it really starts your day. Then, and Sean will agree with me on this one, your taste buds start to salivate because you can smell it. Your senses are being teased by the aroma of that freshly ground coffee. And there's nothing like it. That's why we love it when we walk into these coffee shops and we've got these baristas there that will charge you a fortune of money for a paper cup. You miss all the theatre. Then your coffee is being prepared and you hear the noises and you can hear my mouth starting to water already. You start to salivate knowing what you are going to be experiencing. But the moment you put this to your lip, and if you're using one of these milk coffee drinks, you now have a 3-layer start, middle and end of a journey of flavour. That's real coffee. If you go for milk coffee, you want to go for espresso, Sean will show you the crema and everything that is just like the best bits of your Sunday roast. Intense, smoky, woody, cherry, chocolatey, nutty. All of these flavours explode in your mouth and you're like, oh my God. Drinking coffee is not a drink. It's an experience. Real coffee. Instant coffee is wet and quick. Real coffee is flavour explosive. And that's the world of differences between the two. That delivers real coffee, right?
It really does, Mike. When you start to drink coffee more and more, you appreciate it like you appreciate wine. When you first drink wine, you think it all tastes the same, don't you? But the more you drink, the more you start to appreciate the different types of coffee. As I say, I love all types of coffee. First thing in the morning, I love an espresso. So again, let me show you how simple the machine is to use. First of all, your water tank is on the back there. It lifts off, so you can take it straight across to the tap. You've got a filter in there. The filter's included. When you first turn the machine on, it'll ask you how hard your water is on a level of 1 to 3. So you decide. If you're in a really hard water area, go for the higher number, and the filter works accordingly to that. Your beans then go in the top of here. You can put as many beans in as you like there, and then you grind. You've got 5 different options on the grind on here. On the previous machines, it was only 3. And then you're ready to go. When you turn the machine on, it'll talk you through, it'll rinse the machine through before you make the first coffee. And we're going to make an espresso now. So when you turn it on, power button's right here. If you want to look at the settings at any point, you just press the settings button and then you can scroll through, Mike, all the different settings. So you can see maintenance, setups there for you. There's information if you want to talk through anything. But if we go back, if ever you get lost, just press the back arrow. It takes you straight back. So let's make an espresso and you'll love how quick this is. Just making 1 espresso, but the strongest of beans. So if you want to change the bean setting, you've got 1, 2 or 3. So you can have it stronger, you can have it mid, or you can have a weaker espresso. And you can change the size of the espresso as well. So 40 mils, if you want to go up, you can go right up to 70 mils on the espresso drinks. Once it's ground, the great thing about the grind is it's a burr grinder. So that means it's the finest quality of grinder. It's nice and quiet, it's not too loud. But look at that. First thing in the morning, that is the perfect espresso.
And now watch it settle. And now those flavours, those combinations, that blend of aroma, nutty, chocolate, woody, depending on the beans that you want, are now literally mixing right in front of your eyes. That is going to get your day started the right way, right?
Certainly will, won't it? I love that kick first thing in the morning. Every morning when the team come in and they knock on my door, they're like, I can smell he's having a coffee to set him up for the day, whatever time of day it is. I always start with an espresso. But the great thing about this machine is it does so much more. So your 5 favourites are on that home screen on the front of the actual machine. It then says more. So if I go to the more button, it'll run us through the extra settings that we've got. We've got the ristretto, the doppio, which is a double espresso. Then you've got your Americano available. Then there's frothy milk. Now, before I came in today, I made a hot chocolate in here. Just put the sachet in the glass, let the frothy milk come through, give it a good stir. Oh, stunning hot
Make
chocolate.
a malty drink before you go to bed, right?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Or pop a brandy in the hot chocolate. That's one of my
lovely.
favourites. And then you've also got tea settings on here, I was saying. If you're a green tea drinker, if you're a herbal tea drinker or a black tea drinker, they all set at different temperatures. So to have all of these drinks, one-touch recipes, and then remember 5 of them, we'll do 2 at a time, your 5 favourites that are on the home screen. So that's why when you see on the details, it'll say 17 drinks. It means the doubles as well as the singles.
Now, to you all. So far, you've had the whistle-stop tour about how good this machine is. What you haven't had is the taste. Please, if there's anything inside of you, an instinct, something niggling at the back of your brain, can it really be that good? Imagine the best flavour of drink you could possibly imagine, and now you're going to get a chance to taste it. That's what this delivers. It delivers a journey of flavours that only really few ever get a chance to experience unless you're paying through the nose in a coffee shop. And you're going to have this for 14 days. So if you like coffee, but you're buying instants, no one's making judgments here, but instant coffee is a very poor comparison to real fresh ground coffee. There is chalk and cheese, okay? Some flavours of instant coffee try to be deep, rich, blended, this, that and the other. But the bottom line is, it's a powder or granules you pour boiling hot water on. This will never boil the hot water to boiling point because that will burn the coffee. That will overcook the flavour that you want. That's not what this is. That's what, the knowledge of this machine is brilliant because it's Krups. So you've got a huge house of knowledge here built into this. This is like a coffee barista with a brain. So it gives you exactly the way the coffee should be. And it's that, inside that is where the magic lives. There's an oil in there. There's a blend. There's chemical compounds. You can actually start, what you'll start doing when you've got your own coffee machine that does your own beans, you'll go to these winter markets. You'll buy the rum infused, the brandy infused, the mint chocolate infused beans, and you'll roast some more on there, the cerveza with the cherry, the chocolate and the wood and the smoky notes. And you will be tasting coffee like you drink wine. You will be savouring. Your palate will go boom. That's real coffee. Now, you might be thinking, oh, Mike, you're overdoing it a bit. I'll give you an example of what I mean. Now, I'm not a coffee aficionado like Sean is, but we have got a great coffee machine in our house because the goddess, my wife, she loves coffee. And the machine that we've got was a lot of money, right? It was a 4-figured machine. And don't get me started, but it's money well spent because the goddess absolutely adores her coffee. I had, a few years ago, a gentleman have to come to the house before the pandemic. I had a windscreen go on my car. And they turned up, this well-known company. And I said, do you want a drink, mate? Whenever you come to my house, if you're doing work or anything like that, first thing you get asked is, do you want a drink? He says, oh, I'd love a coffee. So I went to the machine, I said, what do you want, white or black? He went, oh, no, I like white coffee. I said, I'll do him a cappuccino, right? So I did him a cappuccino with these lovely beans that we'd got, and I took it out to him, and this guy was Italian, right? Italian. So you'd like to think he's going to know a good coffee if he's a coffee drinker. And I'm not being stereotypical here. I gave him his coffee, and he went, oh, that looks nice, because it was all frothy and stuff like that. And he tasted it. And I went back out after 5 minutes just to see, he went, that's one of the best coffees I've ever had. He went, that is absolutely... I said, do you want another one? He went, oh, yeah. And honestly, he loved it. That's real coffee. It's a world of difference. Try it. Please try this. If you're thinking, is it really that good? Try it. What have you got to lose? 14-day money-back guarantee. Worst case scenario, $5.99. That's what it will cost you if you decide you don't want to keep it. Send it back and get your money back. Loads of buyers coming in. Those of you with them in your basket, there's never ever been more a point that I'm going to make right now that you need to listen to. We only have a very small amount of these and you're already loading your baskets up with them. First come, first serve, you get yours, less for other people to get. This machine will be 1,000. At the moment it's under 600. Forget the other 450. Give us 150 today plus your postage. Try it and then decide. But be warned, once you've tasted real coffee, freshly ground, you've experienced that taste explosion, you'll never go back to anything but what machines like this can make for you.
Bask in the delicious aroma of freshly brewed coffee with the Krups Evidence 1 bean-to-cup coffee machine. Discover 12 delightful recipes from full-bodied espressos to velvety lattes, served in the comfort of your own home. The intuitive touch display with handy shortcuts keeps your caffeine fix at your fingertips and allows you to customize the grind, strength, and length for your own personalized blend. Sharing the experience by preparing 2 cups at once. For a difference you can taste, look no further than Krups Evidence 1 bean-to-cup coffee machine.
That's a real treat, and it'll make your house smell amazing. We have some other items on the show. If you want to get some beans, it's so lovely when you get to walk down the bean aisle in the well-known supermarkets and places like that. We have got these beautiful Cafe Cerveza beans. These are absolutely gorgeous. $9.99, that's no money for a 500 gram bag. Add them into your basket, £2.50 plus your postage. First instalment of 4. Or alternatively, maybe you want to take a little journey around the world, then we've got beans from around the world. And we've got all manner of different beans here. We've got the Arabicas, we've got the whole little lot there. Brazilian, we've got the Sinatran beans. Honestly, they are well worth getting for 20 quid. Look at that, fabulous. You're gonna absolutely love them, okay? 355334 is the item number. £5, add them into your basket. You simply, look, you've got the Arabicas there. You're a flavour explosion. Right, let's get back to Sean, because Sean knows a coffee or two.
Now, I just want to show you those coffees that I made right at the top of the show, Mike. I want to show you the quality of the froth on this. I want you to see how thick this is on the actual spoon, how it holds that thickness. They've been made for about 10 minutes, if not more. You've still got that separation on that beautiful latte macchiato. I'm going to do another white drink for you now. I'm going to do a single. Remember, you can do 2 cappuccinos at once. You can do 2 cafe lattes at the same time. I'm going to do a single just to show you. Really simple machine. Your 5 favourites are on the front there. When you want more drinks, that's the more button there. There's also a favourite button, Mike. So once you've made your drink, if you know it's just right, press it into the favourites. It'll remember that configuration. So whatever strength, however much milk you used, it'll remember for next time. But let's do you a cafe latte. So again, it's going to tell you the size. So 50 mils, you can put that up if you want to. So we're going to go to 60 mils on this one. And you can change from mils over to ounces if you so wish. You can have a 24-hour clock or a regular clock, but that screen is fabulous. When the lights are out in the kitchen at home, it has all the colour lights on the front of the machine. It looks really classy.
And the machine looks beautiful.
Really stylish,
gorgeous,
yeah.
stylish.
Meteor graphite grey, they call it. It's a really dark black. Now, with your latte, always does the coffee first, so the coffee will come through into your cup. The reason I use glasses, obviously, is so that you can see everything. You'll see how gorgeous this coffee's going to be. What it's going to do now is preheat the milk, but you can see how it draws, how it drops into the actual glass, and then that crema, which is perfect every single time. The burr grinder, as I say, it's the quality of a metal grinder that you've got there. So even when it is grinding the beans, you don't hear it. But what's happening right now is the preheating. So the preheating for the milk. So when the milk comes through, remember, it doesn't come with a milk jug. I love this, actually, because the previous model to this comes with a stainless steel jug. I always forget to take the milk out, Mike, so I go back the next day. Not nice.
Yeah.
With, obviously, if you put it in a glass, you're always going to see it. And you can see the amount of milk coming through as well. This is the other thing I love about it. When it starts to draw the milk from the glass, there we go. And you can see how it starts to give you that gorgeous separation on a latte. You can move your section to wherever you want it to be. So if you want to do a longer glass underneath there, you can. That's completely up to you. If you think your cup's not going to be big enough, you can also reduce it down to wherever you want it to be. So if you want to get away quick, you can take it right down, and then it tells you your drink is ready. And it gives you, honestly, when you see this latte, Sean Ryan is addicted to lattes. He's another presenter here. Whenever you go out with him, he always has 2, 3, 4 lattes in a day. He would love this machine. He hasn't seen it yet. And the other thing is footprint, because some of the coffee machines are pretty big, Mike.
Ours is probably twice as deep as this one.
This is great. It's countertop. It'll fit underneath your counter. Yeah. It's not too tall. It's not too wide. So it's not going to take up a huge space in any kitchen. But what I want you to see is how it continues to separate. Look at that, Mike.
Now, for people that are maybe at home now thinking, okay, well, that all's very lovely, but I bet cleaning it's a nightmare. It cleans itself, doesn't it?
Cleans itself. Now, you'll see on the screen, it's now saying rinse the milk system. Now, it won't do that until I take my drink away and press OK. So if I take my drink away and put it with my other selection, I won't be sleeping if I drink these tonight. Press the OK button on the machine, and what you're going to see is it tells you the next step. So it says remove and dismantle your actual attachment. So again, I'll just pop it out. I won't actually clean it. You don't have to clean it every time. This is just for your peace of mind. Press OK, and then it's going to rinse the actual machine itself. So like you say, Mike, self-cleaning. If you do want to take it apart, really simple, but what it's doing right now is rinsing through that milk system so that next time you go through to make another coffee, there's no old milk in there. It's always going to be fresh milk coming through. Or if you're doing a black drink, again, you won't get any milk remnants in there. Same again if you want to switch to make a cup of tea, because it makes all your different teas as well.
Want to try one? You do, don't you? Why would you not? Gang, never ever take for granted or underestimate the power of what the coffee drink does for people. It's the perfect way to start your day. It's the perfect way to end a meal. And any time during the day when you fancy that kick, that hit, that flavour explosion, that aroma, that sensual, smooth, silky blend of flavours and eruptions on your palate that your palate just can't get enough of, that's coffee. More chemical compounds than wine. And when you start considering just how powerful coffee is around the world, you have to start appreciate people love this on a molecular level. Because it really does change people's days, changes their moods, changes the way they feel from moment to moment. And that's real coffee. Inside that bean is as magical a bean as what Jack threw in the ground and the beanstalk grew out of. There's magic in the bean. I'm not saying throw them outside and the big plant's going to grow. What I am saying is this, and giants start fee-fi-fo fumming all over the place. What I am saying is this. When you love coffee, you love it. And I don't mean, oh, I like a nice cup of coffee once in a while. You love it. It becomes part of your day, your DNA, your morning, noon and night. That's the power of the drink. That's the magic of that bean. But you've got to get the magic out. And that's exactly what this machine does. It grinds it perfectly. It tamps it perfectly. It puts the water at the perfect temperature through the bean. Every sinew of flavour and magic is delivered and removed from that in its rawest form, so you get the purest drink. And when you taste it, you know it. And that's the difference between a coffee and a freshly ground delivered coffee. Right, gang, so busy. Please, please, please don't underestimate what I'm about to tell you. Please check your baskets out, if not but to secure your 14-day money-back guarantee. This makes the perfect meal complement at the end. This is the great way to start your day, but as we now move into the autumnal and the winter months, you'll be drinking a lot more hot beverages. And what Sean was saying, your hot milk with a malty spoonful of something in it, or maybe something a bit more medicinal, or maybe a chocolatey hot milk, however you want to colour it, this is going to be perfect for you. Get one before they're gone. Check out your basket. Sean?
When you get this machine home, the first thing I would do is take advantage of that extra feature that it's got, because you can make 2 drinks at the same time. It's very rare that you see a machine that will do that. It's very, very rare that you see a machine that will do 2 milk drinks. Now, I haven't shown you the cappuccino in a double drink, so that's what I'm going to do. If you want to do the 2 drinks, remember, right here at the front of the machine, ×2, just press that, and then it comes up on the LED reading that you can see there. Then we decide which drink from the favourites, the 5 favourites on the front menu that we want to do. We're going to do a cappuccino. It's going to preheat straight away. Now with a cappuccino, it's going to put the milk in the cup first, so that's why it's preheating.
If I may, just very, very quickly, Sean, we have that at the most unfortunate angle with our cameras. It looks like there's big greasy fingerprints all over it. It's only the lighting and the way the cameras are set. I know where Sean's standing, you can't even see any fingerprint.
No.
But I know as we look back on the monitors, it does look like there's fingerprints all over it.
It's not. I cleaned it myself, Mike. You know me. I had it all washed down before the show. You should have seen me. Cappuccino, it tells you how long it's going to take to go through, and then it starts to count down with the milk. Now, your milk jug is, well, there isn't one. You use whichever receptacle you want, put it in a glass, put it in a jug if you've got a jug at home already, completely up to you. But you can see how much milk's going to go down by the reading on the screen. It tells you in seconds, and it literally counts down. Remember, we're making 2 cappuccinos at the same time. We've got the strongest coffee coming through because I like a nice strong coffee. But if you want to change that at any point, you just go through to your settings, or you can do it right here on the home screen. I'm going to take it down a little bit because I don't want to run out of milk. And then I want you to hear, I don't have to shout when it's grinding. Some grinders, coffee grinders, sound like a plane taking off. This is the finest quality. It's what we call Quattro Force from Krups. And Quattro Force means the grinding, the tamping, the percolation and the drainage of the machine. But you can see how perfectly even they are in the 2 drinks. And what it's going to do, it's going to put your first espresso in. But what it's doing here, Mike, it's splitting that first shot of espresso between the 2 cups. So don't take it away after it's done that, because it's then going to grind another espresso to put through into your 2 cups. But look at that. You're going to want to take it away because you're going to want to drink it.
It is amazing.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
They are like cascading clouds of flavour that just layer and layer and layer. And that's the complexity of coffee. There's layers of flavours in it.
So many layers. And like I always say, it's like a fine wine. The more you drink coffee, the more you appreciate it, the different types of coffee. And then when you go back to an instant, you're like, that's not coffee.
Yeah, that's just a comparison of flavour, but there's nowhere near
flavoured water. The great thing is the machine tells you all the way through what's happening. So you'll never not know what's going on with the machine. It tells you on that screen what's happening. We're now going through to that second shot. Look at that, Mike. But look at the froth, the way it froths the milk. And it heats the milk at the same time. It's a dual purpose process that it goes through. And there you imagine you're having a dinner party, you pop out and you come back with those. It looks like you've been down the high street to your favourite coffee shop. It really does.
I mean, you've had these before, Sean. You know when you've had an Irish coffee at the end of like a posh meal or something like that, and you think, oh, that tasted amazing. Oh, I'll do one of them at home. And you get the kettle on, and you get your coffee. Well, it's got to be a black coffee. And then you do that in your cups that look like this. And then you try to pour the cream on, and it just goes into the coffee and then turns it into a white coffee. Then you just glug a spirit in there and you go, well, it didn't taste like one down that curry house that we had that was just amazing. No, you know why? Because it's not real coffee. You've got to understand, to get the real quality, you need the quality ingredients and the quality of creation. And that creates perfect coffees every single time. Gang, mental busy. Right, we're nearly down to single figures now. Well, that changed rather quickly. So we're going to show you the features. Check out your baskets, please. If not, but to secure your 14-day money-back guarantee. But please bear in mind, that is an investment in you, in your flavour, in your absolute well-being, and in your household, because everybody, at one point or another, if you are a coffee drinker, will adore a great real coffee. And that delivers it every single day, as many times you like.
Bask in the delicious aroma of freshly brewed coffee with the Krups Evidence 1 bean-to-cup coffee machine. Discover 12 delightful recipes from full-bodied espressos to velvety lattes, served in the comfort of your own home. The intuitive touch display with handy shortcuts keeps your caffeine fix at your fingertips and allows you to customize the grind, strength, and length for your own personalized blend. Sharing the experience by preparing 2 cups at once. For a difference you can taste, look no further than Krups Evidence 1 bean-to-cup coffee machine.
Just quickly on a personal note, my goddess, my beautiful lady, the wife in my life, she is a coffee lover. She adores great coffee. And when we got the really, really cool coffee machine, she went, oh, do you know what I'm going to do? And she's got one of those reusable cups. And every single morning before she goes off to work, she fills her cup up with coffee. And right next to where she works is one of the most well-known fast coffee chain stores, right? You know the ones I'm on about, yeah? And I think the coffee that she wants is normally about £4.50 in there. So if you work that out on a daily basis, that's over £20 5 days a week. And yet she makes the best coffee ever. She loves experimenting with her own beans and blends and things like that. and she doesn't have to pay anything other than for the raw material. And it's freshly ground every single time. No queuing, no fussing, just flavour and taste. And she does it every single morning. One time, our coffee machine, I've become an expert in repairing things, coffee machines, because one time some beans got jammed and stuff like that. She was mortified, and she made me, Mike, sort it out, because I repair stuff. I make things. You got to work out how to repair that. So I had to take this thing apart, but it was only because some beans got stuck in our one, and it was easily sorted. I'm on the phone to people and stuff like that, but I got it sorted. She was absolutely mortified until it was sorted. She can't go without a coffee shop.
It's a really good point, Mike. And whilst you're talking about that, Krups offer a 2-year warranty, 2-year guarantee, but they also offer what we call a 10-year repairable warranty. So in the next 10 years, they guarantee that if anything does go wrong with the machine, you'll still be able to get hold of the parts. It's a machine that looks really stylish. It's going to look great on your countertop. You don't need a massive space. It's not going to take up a huge space. I just want to do a double 2 drinks at the same time again, because I haven't done the espressos. So if I just press the espressos, I'm going to make them a little bit bigger because I can.
Check your baskets out, gang. These are going to go.
Oh, I can see what you were talking about now, Mike. I can't see any fingerprints over by my machine.
No,
but the reflection is there, yes. That you can't actually see those on the machine in real life. You can see I've got 2 drinks going at the same time. It's espresso, and I've gone it up to 70 mils. That's the max on your espresso drinks. So if you want a stronger espresso, you can get it. And this is what I love. Even with an espresso, it really looks like, I mean, you can see the amount of coffees that I've made here, Mike, in a 40-minute show.
Guys, the flavour, the intensity, the explosion upon your palate is something you will never forget and you'll want time after time after time. This machine will give it to you. Whenever you want it, all you have to do is put in the beans and this will unleash the magic. Please check out your basket. Sean, you love coffee, you know coffee, you understand coffee. Am I right or am I wrong?
I've now got this machine, Mike. That's how much I love it. I've now got this machine. After using it, I had to have one of these machines. I've found a lovely little space for it, and another one's been retired, let's put it that way. You're going to see right now, it's just doing the second cycle because we're doing 2 espressos. It splits the espresso, and then it puts the second shot into the 2 glasses at the same time. Whatever drink you're going for, 5 favourites where you can make the 2 drinks at once. If you want to go to the extra menu, the more drinks, you've got things like a ristretto, a doppio, you've got all your different teas on there as well. But look at that, Mike. Look at that crema on that espresso.
And there's no cream, that's the crema. That comes out of the bean, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's a misconception that people often think, oh, it's got a milk layer on top. Not at all. It's part of the bean, it's part of the extraction. In fact, I must show you the actual tampers. Now, these are quite hot because they've just had all the liquid pass through them, but they are completely dry.
Put them on your roses.
They're actually, they're disintegrating in my hands. They come through as a tamper, but there's literally no liquid in there. It's dry as you would like because it flattens it down, it pushes the water through, and that's how the tamper works for you to get the perfect extraction of coffee every single time.
We put them on our plants with eggshells.
Yeah,
the cats
perfect
away.
composting,
Honestly, the cats always land in the petunias. You're like, oh, cats flatten them again. Put some coffee and eggshells in there. Cat don't go anywhere near them now. Although the cat loves a coffee first thing in the morning. It's weird. Right, so cat's meowing. Macchiato. Now, to you all, gang. Look, a doorway of opportunity is closing on you. Now, I'm not saying that to hurry you, to rush you, or to misguide you.